Was anybody aware of the dangers of radioactive fallout at that time?
They were, but the people that was working there was kept in the dark.
The place, the palm-swept island of Bikini in the Central Pacific, scene of the first post-World War II testing of the atomic bomb. The time, July 1st, 1946, blast Able from the atmosphere. July 25th, 1946, blast Baker on the ocean floor. The victim, Duke Williams of Youngstown, New York, who was a 19-year-old sailor 40 years ago aboard a salvage tug in the Bikini Lagoon.
I was the boat coxswain on the captain's gig, and I would take the inspection parties each day throughout the fleet to inspect the instruments that was on the target ships.
I imagine the atomic blast was awesome. How close were you to the blasts?
Well, we lifted anchor about daylight and moved out 7 miles outside of the target area. Then we were next told that the plane was in the area and that we was to turn her back to the target ship, which was the Nevada. We turned her back, and the next message was the plane is over the target, the plane is over the target, and then they told us to bend over and cover our eyes with our back to the target, and then the blast came at about 1,000 feet, and after the blast we were told to then turn and face the target. The flash had passed, but the fire was still rolling on the water. It hadn't even started to mushroom yet, and all the ships in the lagoon was on fire instantly. And then we was laying to, and we was ordered to get underway and proceed to the target area, and within 45 minutes we had entered the target area.
What was your role in the Bikini tests back in 1946?
Our immediate concern was to extinguish the fires, so we charged all the big ships in the lagoon, the carriers and the battleships and the cruisers, and sprayed them down with our water monitors and our firefighting equipment. On the third day we started going aboard the ships, barefooted with swimming trunks to scrub down the decks.
How much radiation do you figure you were exposed to?
Several of us was classified as hot material. They took us to the showers and washed us down with water that we had evaporated out of the lagoon. In our evaporators, we showered with this. It was supposed to clean us up, I guess.
It was radioactive water.
Yeah,
wasn't
sure.
it?
Yes, it run. We were tied up and working among these ships, evaporating our water all the time, which we cooked, washed, ate, and drank with all the time we were in the area. And at this time, they decided our water in our ship was too hot. After some of the sailors' hair started to fall out. So then several of us, myself included, was ordered to burn all our clothes and our shoes and everything after we took the shower, and they reissued us new uniforms and stuff. When we returned to San Francisco, we went in, they sent us out to the submarine pen or base dry dock at Hunter's Point. That was way out in the boonies, you might say, in San Francisco there. And they put us in the dry dock, and when we came in the dry dock, they built special toilets for us over the manholes. They wouldn't even let us use the yard toilets.
Did you have any early symptoms of radiation poisoning while you were still in the Navy?
Not until 1978, then I started having problems. When they found out I was a radiation patient or subjected to high levels of radiation, the first thing that they did was give me a complete thyroid examination. They knew exactly where they were going, and they knew what they were looking for. So they determined that I had a severe thyroid problem. And in my records it shows due to radiation exposure. And then in further testing they found out that I had hepatitis. And then I went back in March 1 of '80 and had a complete thyroid removal.
Has the Veterans Administration done anything for you?
Absolutely nothing.
Have you filed a claim? Have you been fighting them?
Several claims over the last 6 years. The last one that I received from them a few months ago, they just sent it out off the machine, and they didn't even bother to sign it.
A recent General Accounting Office report disputes a Pentagon report of 1984 that stated that you people out there were exposed to only low-level radiation. Now, does this enhance your case?
No, because the 20,000 odd people that participated in the Bikini test was all the scientists and doctors and stuff was stationed 20 miles upwind on the command ship. And they were all issued badges, therefore their badges showed very low level radiation. But the 54 people in our unit and the 60 some odd people in the other unit that worked with us, we weren't issued badges, and I believe the reason we weren't is because they didn't want any record of the radiation which we received.
The Defense Department launched a campaign back in 1977 to contact those servicemen at Bikini and give them checkups.
That's a bunch of crap.
Were you notified?
No. And neither was anyone else of them that I contacted 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
None of them had ever been contacted.
How many crewmen were aboard your salvage tug at the time of those Bikini blasts, and how many of them are around today?
There's 6 left out of 54.
Are you through fighting the system, Duke?
Not really. I have given up. I was told last Friday, a week ago, at the VA hospital why I wasn't on disability. My doctor said, "What are you doing now?" And I says, "Well, I'm working." And he says, "Why in the hell are you working?" He says, the records show that you're disabled and have been for 6 years. I says, "Are you going to buy my groceries?" And that's the way it stands. You keep working if you want to eat.
What does the future hold for Duke Williams?
I was advised a few years ago to buy a fiddle, and I did. Oh, someday they'll uncover this stuff that they buried. The stuff that they knew all the time that they've covered up. I think they'll uncover it in time, and we'll be recognized as people that was used and abused.